Companies are using petroleum to make your food. How? Because artificial flavors come from inedible sources. They're cheap, convenient, and easy to modify in a lab. However, people like you and me are more conscious about our health now than ever. And if big food wanted to keep making money, they had to make a change. Fast food places now offer lower calorie options. Everyone's buying organic, which like how? $12 for 10 eggs? Are these gold-fed chickens? Anyway, something else that's been popping up lately are natural flavors. They are everywhere. And natural flavors is so vague. Like, what is that? Am I eating liquid out of a beaver's? Are we back to that again? So I did what I do, and I did a lot of research, and turns out the corporations are lying to us again. Over 100 chemicals could be in one natural flavor, and they don't have to reveal what they put in these flavors. So vegetarians, you're out of luck. You could be eating crushed insects for all you know. But how did it get to this? I mean, natural flavors had to be natural at some point, right? Well, you're right. We've been adding flavor to our food since the dawn of time because, well, no. The first processed flavorings were essential oils in ancient Egypt, Persia, and India. Because the Arabs were like, yo, this shit's pretty good. What if we just isolated the flavor into an extremely concentrated, complex, and aromatic oil? Or something like that, I think. It was actually a pretty life-changing invention because spices were widely traded at the time and you couldn't just put it on a plane and send it off. Before essential oils, Bob would have had to load up all those spices into his caravan and there's only so much he could have taken. But with essential oils, he could now carry and sell more. And essential oils are so strong that people needed only a couple drops to add flavoring. This was revolutionary. The idea of using processed flavoring to save money and resources is used by just about every food company today. But today, food scientists have perfected the art of breaking down anything, edible or inedible, into specific molecules. They then use those to create what we know today as artificial flavors. Artificial flavoring started around the Industrial Revolution. While Morse was inventing the telegraph, chemists were trying to make Fruity Berry Blast. With all the new technology and carbon-rich materials, scientists were experimenting with something called synthesis. It literally just means combining simple substances to create a complex compound. Like H2O is a combination of hydrogen and oxygen. Now who says chemistry is hard? Their artificial fruit flavors, though, were usually just simple combinations diluted in alcohol. But writers at the time noticed something interesting. These pleasant fruity chemicals derive from substances of intensely disgusting odor, such as fusel oil, which is a waste product. So obviously, like a lot of other products, synthesized flavors were made to reduce costs and increase profit. But also, it can improve the food's shelf life, create so many different flavors, create a consistent flavor, and quite frankly, they just taste good. But they became big in the US during World War II. Soldiers needed quick, long-lasting food, and they had to make it taste good because, again, with war comes food shortages, so we became heavily reliant on food made in labs and factories. But that is thankfully long over, and we generally want our food to now come from old-timey sources, like the ground. So businesses did what they do, and they adapted, and they introduced the infamous natural flavors. The name natural flavors is a half-truth because they are made from edible sources, meaning no synthesizing or breaking down molecules from petroleum. That's because the FDA defines natural flavors as a substance extracted, distilled, or similarly derived from plant or animal matter. The flavor is extracted using heat, enzymes, or both. So yay, my strawberry flavored yogurt is flavored with actual strawberries. Yes, but there's always a but. They can add synthesized chemicals in the manufacturing process. And since they have to start up with flavors from edible sources, they add up to 100 chemicals like preservatives and flavor enhancers. Like there are some natural flavors made up of over 90% chemicals. So what's the difference? Artificial flavors are made solely from chemicals combined to mimic a flavor. Natural flavors are created from the food they're trying to replicate a lot of the time, but are mixed with a lot of synthesized products. So is the natural version really better for us? It is not. Natural and artificial flavors are the exact same molecules, and nutritionally, there is no difference between them. In fact, the exact same chemical can show up on food labels as artificial or natural flavors. Like vanillin, that vanilla flavor, it can show up as natural if it was made from vanilla extract, or artificial if it was synthesized in a lab. But it's the same thing. But that doesn't really matter to us consumers because we quite frankly don't go the extra step to research what natural flavoring is. We barely want to be in the grocery store in the first place, and we're too busy double checking those prices. But of course corporations know that, and they use it to their advantage. We're more willing to pay for something that's natural because we equate that with being healthier. But while these products may hurt your pockets, most research concludes that natural flavors are safe to eat, unless you're allergic to something in them. But you wouldn't know, because companies aren't required to reveal any of the chemicals they put in these flavors. The trick is, beef describes the taste, not the source, you idiot. I do want to note that they do still have to list common allergens. Before researching this topic, I really did hope that it wasn't another BS label and they actually use whole ingredients. And y'all can't call me dumb for that, because 51% of US adults thought the same thing. But after researching this for a minute, here's what I think. Flavoring doesn't add much nutritional value anyway, so it's not like the worst thing in the world. I just don't like being lied to, which is low-key what these labels are doing. And it's all clearly just a really smart marketing strategy because the word natural sells. It could be anything: natural mud, natural water, even natural air, and people would still pay more for it just because of that label. It's all about perception, and companies know how to play that game. But also, I understand what's the alternative. I want to be able to buy snacks and have them last for more than 4 days, so preservatives are useful there. I just wish corporations and these big bodies in power cared about our health. Like, I wish I could trust that even half of those 100 chemicals don't affect my body negatively. It's not that I'd never eat the food again, because I'd still fuck up a McChicken after this video.
Can't stop watching it. It's like a lava lamp.
But we have the right to know what we're putting into our body. We should be able to control what we eat without spending hours researching vague labels. But I just don't know if that feels like a trivial problem in the grand scheme of things, you know? Like, something definitely needs to change so we can actually fully take control of our health. But I'm not gonna spend forever dwelling on this topic specifically. I'm gonna control what I eat to the best of my abilities and be grateful I even eat regularly in the first place. And I'll also try and support brands that are transparent and use whole ingredients whenever I can, but not everyone has the time or resources to do that, so yeah. But I've been talking for a while, so I'm gonna ask you something now. How much do you care about companies being transparent about food labels? I feel like most of us would like to know, but kinda hold the same life goes on attitude. I'm really excited to hear what y'all think, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!